This is Mega Man, and you're listening to Pixels in the Animation.
Super fighting robot, Mega Man. 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 Fighting, save the world.
Hello and welcome to Pixels in the Animation. This is episode 54, and we only have a few more Mega Man-ish episodes left. I'm, of course, Steve, Joe, and Mike, one of your hosts. Joining me is TV's Mr. Neil.
I'd be lying if I said I enjoyed this week's batch of episodes.
And Steve Megatron.
Hello.
That's it. So yeah, we're going to get straight to the episodes, folks, because they're so horrible we need to get this nightmare over with. I'm expecting a 000 or more, maybe. I don't know.
At some point, one shall fall.
Because no one will stand.
At last, my greatest creation ever is nearly complete. The world may call me insane, Proto.
Sounds right to me.
But when they see the power of my creations, they will fall to their knees in terror. It's time for my spine-tingling special shipment to arrive.
Now, who in his right mind will be making a delivery to the British Museum in the dead of night? What's all this then? Blimey! This mummy's alive! Ah! Help! Save me from the mummy's curse!
Alright, folks, kicking off this episode of Pixels in the Animation, we go to Season 2, Episode 6, 19th episode overall, Night of the Living Monster Bots, written by Doug Molitor, October 15th, 1995. Dr. Wily unleashes horror movie monster robots which attack everything in sight. He films it and as a threat to come if people don't pay to watch. Mega Man has to fight these monster robots, and even his family and friends are under their curse. Dun dun dun. Why? I think it's an interesting take on monster movies, but I just wish there was more original stories in this series at this point. How the hell... Okay, so there's a scene in here where Mega Man has to stop Cutsman and Gutsman. And he uses...
What a
Huh?
what a shock! He has to stop Gutsman and Gutsman.
Well...
I couldn't afford new robots.
Okay. So he has to stop them, and he does so using a crane. Yet, in the very next scene, Cutsman is back at Wily's castle filming the thing. How did they get back there so fast? How did they get down from the crane?
Clones.
That...
They use the Deus Ex Machina gadget.
Yeah. And then Dr. Wily says he's running over budget. Are you kidding me?
The show ran over budget a long time ago. That's why they're running into mummies, werewolves, tiki men, cavemen, genies.
Could be worse. It could be the Darkstalkers.
Oh, we'll get to that.
I think that'd be more enjoyable at this point.
Seriously?
Some of it.
Are you sure?
Maybe. I can't remember.
And then my final note was, so typical. Neil, thoughts on Night of the Living Monster Bots?
this is the first of 2 episodes where Dr. Light gets turned into a creature of some sort and therefore becomes evil. And becoming a reluctant werewolf in the process of this episode. Yeah, I just don't know what to say. It's like someone must have been watching like old Universal monster movies and decided to write this for some reason.
You know what would have been better if they tried to basically rip off a certain other wolf movie in 1980s.
Teen Wolf?
Could have made, you could have made him Scott Howard's father. Oh God, Steve, thoughts?
Why? It's like a bad monster movie reboot, just with robots. And why do the humans have to change? I just don't know. And then the Hollywood actors turning into a vampire and Light having to be a werewolf. I don't know. I just don't get. I don't know. I don't understand the direction of this episode. Why it has to do this.
I know this is a kids show, folks, and I know they probably would have never done this, but it would have been better. And other shows have done this. It would have been better if they animated a certain female star that was synonymous with Halloween and everything else. They should have put Elvira in here. It would have made the episode so much friggin' better.
She would have taken up the entire screen, if you know what I mean.
That's the point.
That would have scarred young children for years until they realized what they saw, which wouldn't be much of the cartoon. You know, with Dr. Light having to change into animals every episode, you think they would have put him down by this point.
Yeah, absolutely. Any other thoughts on this one, guys?
Make it stop.
Bad dog.
All I get,
They should have done like Old Yeller, taking that bitch out back and shot her.
He said bad dog. Now all I can think of is friggin'
Batman.
No.
Sit, Ubu, sit.
No, not that. Friday. Son, damn dog bit me, son. Oh, God. We'll be back after this.
Secret cave to use for my tropical island experiments.
Next up is probably the worst episode of the entire series, folks. Season 2, Episode 7, 20th episode overall. Dr. Wily's robots discover humanoid lion creatures who use their strange powers to turn people into lions and make robots obey them. Both Dr. Light and Dr. Wily are transformed, and it is up to Mega Man to change them back.
I think this was to get the attention of people that liked The Lion King.
See, I think this was more so to piss off a certain film genre fan base, because this is essentially Planet of the Lions, is what this is.
I like Planet of the Apes better.
I know, but I'm saying, like, this isn't Planet of the Apes anymore. This is Planet of the Lions.
Mufasa, get your ass over here. We have to take down the humans.
Oh, God.
How do you make more lion people?
We zap them.
Eye lasers.
We hit them with lasers.
Red ones and blue ones.
Just like the pills of the Matrix.
Yep. All humans into lions, really? This episode probably hurt me the most. I mean, 10 minutes into this 20-some-odd minute episode, I was like, I'd rather watch any Super Show cartoon again
Oh
at
my
this
God.
point. Yeah, it's that bad.
One bot against all odds to save the world.
Nail thoughts.
Fuck this episode. this is so.
Moving on.
This was so stupid. I mean, just the whole. It's another one of these like pseudo zombie episodes where like you have this sort of contagion. Well, not really, but you know, we get to turn everyone into bad guys, and I don't think I know the reasoning behind it, but it was kind of like a cheap cop out that like it doesn't work on the robots. It's like, okay. So they had to come up with another reason to like turn all of Wily's robots into slaves of this Tar character. Which, by the way, Tar, very clever. Oh my God! I remember watching. I remember this was one of the few episodes I actually watched when it aired, and I'm like, "What the hell is this? Why is this called Mega Man? Who wrote this, and how hard did they have to scrape them off the ceiling? Because they must have been super high when they wrote this."
Planet of the Lions, featuring Mega Man.
This was written by a guy named Gary Greenfield.
How much work did he get after this?
Custodian at like McDonald's.
Yeah, apparently, according to Wikipedia, does not have an article with this exact name.
And he never worked again.
Any other thoughts, Steve?
Why wasn't Gravity Man here to incinerate the episode where it stood?
True.
That would have been infinitely better at this point.
Yes.
And funny enough, the guy that wrote the episode also did the incredible Shrinking Mega Man.
Oh, what a surprise.
And Michelangelo meets Mondo Gecko. Amongst many other cartoons that he didn't do after 1995. He was done.
Stick a fork in him.
I think they did at that point. Mega Man was the last thing he did.
It's like, yeah, you're not going to be working here anymore.
Your services are no longer required.
Good luck on your future endeavors.
He did a good job cleaning up the place, but the bosses didn't like him, so they shot him into space. Where he was forced to watch his own episodes over and over.
I thought they submitted him as tribute to the episode, and the lion people ate him. Feed him to the lions.
It's like we're not telling you that you're fired, but read between the lines.
On that note, folks, we're going to move on to the last episode of the day after this.
I'm running out of energy.
I'm never going on one of these missions with you two again. It's too cramped in there.
Eddie, help.
Whoa! Why didn't you say so?
Eddie, I need power. That's much better. Come on, Rush. Push!
Alright, folks, today is the day the moon fell, which is our last episode of this podcast. Written by Richard Merwin. Air date was October 29th, 1995. Dr. Wily has pulled the moon out of its orbit and closer to Earth, creating widespread disasters Dr. Light now has to figure out a way to put the moon back in its correct orbit, while Mega Man must destroy Dr. Wily's device. Gru did it better. The sad thing is, when Gru does it in Despicable Me, nothing actually happens. That was the weirdest thing about that movie. He's like, I'm going to steal the moon! And no tidal waves, no natural disasters, no nothing.
That's because they didn't use real science.
True.
We use DreamWorks-isms.
I actually do love the action in this episode, and compared to the other two episodes, this one is pretty good. I don't know. Steve, thoughts?
This one's one of the few I remember watching as a kid and actually enjoying. Yes, I said actually enjoying. One, you get to see the younger Wily and Dr. Mario, and the
only time in the 100 episode long podcast here on Pixels Animation we're ever gonna get a Dr. Mario reference compared to Mega Man.
And then you get read between the lines Mega Man in the ship.
Mm-hmm.
And you get, I mean, I'm not a fan of some of the villain robots that show up, but it doesn't mean anything. I think the animation was a lot better in this episode. There's a lot more grit to it. I think that the episode was a lot more put together than a lot of them that we've seen to this point. I'm not saying that the plot was like foolproof, but I would say that it's probably one of the better ones we've seen so far.
It's the best one we've seen to this point today, this podcast, I'll tell you that. What about you, Neil?
Well, it's certainly animated better than the last couple episodes. Yeah, it was a better episode. I think I was just in pain by this point, and so I will give this credit is that this particular episode did kind of ease me out of the pain that was from the Lion episode, so we got that. And it has the return of Snake Man, who is a good character, and he has a cool stage theme.
Yes, exactly.
And I will say that at least this writer knows how to write, being that he's done stuff up to 2002, but he's done Scooby-Doo, he's done G.I. Joe, Transformers, Smurfs, Gem, DuckTales, TMNT. He did New Adventures of He-Man. That's a dig at Mike. And then he's done Real Adventures of Johnny Quest. He's done a lot of different stuff, so at least he's got a nicer career than the other guy that no longer works with us.
Yeah. Alright, folks, that's going to do it for this episode of Pixels in the Animation. We only have a few more Mega Man review episodes left, so we'll be back after this with the closing thoughts and rankings.
Mega! Right back! Messages!
It's Showtime Synergy. The latest review podcast from the Geekcast Radio Network is here. So join TFG1 Mike, Nicole Hailstorm, and myself, Lady Rec, as we will be reviewing all 65 episodes of Joe and the Holograms in a 25-episode-long podcast. You can find Showtime Synergy on iTunes and GeekCastRadio.com. We are the truly outrageous podcast that you want to be listening to.
Hello, geeks. Want a podcast that covers a vast array of topics with no rhyme or reason? Then check out Altered Geek Unlimited, where the topics fly more or less off the cuff. We cover media news, TV, our favorite geek products, and of course, your feedback. So get altered, get geeky with the Altered Geeks every Friday on the Geekcast Radio Network.
I'm Colin Baker.
My name's Fraser Hines.
Hi, I'm Daphne Ashbrook.
This is Andrew Cartmel.
Hi, this is Colin Spore.
Hello, I'm Simon Fisher-Becker.
This is Ian McNeice.
Hi, this is Travis Ritchie.
You listen to this Mark Who 42s.
Listen to Mark Who 42's Universe.
If you're into Doctor Who, listen to Mark Who 42's Universe. We always have the latest Doctor Who news, reviews, and interviews. We are available on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, Geekcast Radio Network, and our home base, MarkWho42.net.
Mark Who 42, the meaning of life.
It's action.
It's drama. It's comedy. It's Decian, the superhero webcomic. Decian's got superhero antics and sexy girls. Read it now at Decian.com. DASIEN.com.
Wait a minute.
Alright, we are back here on Pixels in the Animation. Night of the Living Monster Bots. What are you going to give it, Steve?
I'm going to give this one a 0. Why you do that to me?
Neil.
0.
Wow, I'm the only positive one.
He's going to give it a 2.
No. I did like a few of Mega Man's lines, so I'll give it a 0.5. Curse of the Lion Men, Steve?
0.
Neil?
0.
I get a triple 0. This episode should have never happened. The Day the Moon Fell, Steve?
4.5.
Okay. Neil?
I'll give it a 4. I forgot to mention that because I was kind of glib in my assessment. I forgot to mention that Brainbot kind of looks like Pidge from Voltron. So yeah, it was a good episode. So I'll give it a 4.
Yeah, same here. I enjoyed the day the moon fell a lot more than the other two, so I'm also going to give it a 4. All right, I think that's going to do it for us here on Pixels the Animation. Thank you for joining us. There are several ways to get into contact with us to leave feedback for the show. Visit the website, geekcastradio.com. You can comment on this and all of our other episode posts. Email us feedback at geekcastradio.com. Leave the show's feedback in iTunes. Please do this. Follow us on Twitter. The network Twitter is at geekcastradio. Mine is TFU and Mike. Neil, what is your Twitter?
Neil Sama.
Steve.
SCP-21.
Become a fan on Facebook. Go to facebook.com/geekcastradio network. You can also search out Neil's Classic Gaming. DeSan's on over there as well. You can call the voicemail line 502-526-5821. Tell us the show you're leaving the message for and your name. We hope you enjoyed the latest episode of Pixels the Animation and wish you'll join us next time when we'll be reviewing 3 more episodes for Mega Man. Those being Camp Candy. Oh wait, I'm sorry. Campus Commandos, Brainbot, and Brobots. Oh boy. For now, I am TFG and Mike with
TV's Mr. Neil.
Steve Megatron Phillips.
Tune in next time and help us find the pixels in the animation. At least there are no farting noises this week, folks.
Where'd they go?